First Alert Weather Center. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Victoria. Look at that sunshine.
I know, it looks so nice out there.
I know it really does, and I feel like it's the perfect lead-in to this really nice weekend that we have ahead of us. We'll still be a little breezy, not as breezy, and temperatures colder, but not unbearable. We'll have plenty of sunshine, though, that will really be welcomed, I'm sure, by many as we head through this weekend. Let's look at these winds. We're sitting in the teens, low teens for the most part. Some of our places a little closer to the water, seeing those higher wind speeds still as we continue to kind of bounce back after that system that moved through yesterday. We're not expecting winds to be as much of a concern throughout the rest of today, especially once we get into around lunchtime and beyond. Our temperatures are sitting in the teens and still in the lower teens and single digits for our friends a little further north. Most of us in the mid-teens. We're unfortunately not going to warm up a whole lot today. We'll be in the mid to upper 20s by later this afternoon. We are tracking a system that could be bringing us some more precipitation into next week. We'll talk more about that coming up. Victoria. Welcome back. We are tracking just a little bit of inconvenient wind this morning, but for the most part, a really nice weekend ahead of us. We'll have sunny but colder conditions now that that system is pushed off over the last couple of hours. Breezy through the first half of today, but by later on, we'll be able to enjoy that sunshine, even though those temperatures aren't warming up a whole lot quite yet. As we go into the upcoming work week, though, we will start to see those temperatures rising back up, kind of rebounding from this sudden drop that we have seen. Over the next day and into Sunday, we'll have plenty of sunshine, like I mentioned. Temperatures warming into the mid-20s by this afternoon. Another clear night, meaning that those temperatures are going to drop back into the teens. Luckily, though, tonight those wind chill values remain above zero. It'll be a little bit of a chilly start to the day tomorrow, but then warmer temperatures by the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine yet again. And then we lead into some more active weather by the middle of the week. We'll have more details about what to expect coming up. Victoria.
Dave, thanks. We're taking a live look at Sturgeon Bay, and we're seeing a bit of snow and a bit of grass. You know, we've had a lot of snow, a lot of sun actually helping to melt that snow.
Yeah, I made the joke with Haley on the radio station the other day that in the Midwest, you know, it's almost springtime whenever you get just like the mountains of brown, gross parking lot snow. I feel like that's just like peak like March in the Midwest. So definitely have lots of that going on. Lots of squishy grass and lots of mud out there too. So be aware if you're out walking dogs or playing with kids, things like that. Might be seeing some muddy paws, muddy feet. But as we go through the rest of this week, we'll hopefully start to see some drier conditions, but we are tracking a system that could bring us yet another round of some rain and snow. We'll get to that in a second. Radar and satellite loop from the last 3 hours. We're pretty much in the clear now. Still a few flurries popping up on our radar south of Green Bay. A lot of this due to some lake effect snow happening in the UP, which is still happening and has been happening all through the morning. We'll be watching that, but here at home, we're not really expecting a whole lot of impact from that precipitation. Our winds are sitting in that teens and 20 mile per hour range. We will continue to see some breezy conditions as we go through this morning, but once we get closer to around lunchtime, that's likely when we won't have to worry about that wind as much anymore. Temperatures are pretty chilly, and look at that temperature change, almost around a 30-degree difference compared to this time yesterday. So a major cool down thanks to that system exiting, and our first alert pinpoint predictor has highs today still below freezing. We'll be in the mid to upper 20s across the board, and then another chilly night ahead as we go into tonight. That's all thanks to some clear skies, but then moving forward, we'll see some warmer temperatures as we rebound back to above normal and even making another run for the 50s as we get into next week. Before we get there, though, we are tracking this next weather maker. We're likely going to see some rain and snow, one or the other or both, depending on where you are in the region. This is going to likely move in late Monday, lasting through Wednesday and maybe even into Thursday. We could see some accumulation with this if we see the snowfall. The really big question here is that if. Really, this is a system that is compact and is going to be a bit sensitive to just exactly where that track is. If this system pushes a little bit further one way or the other, it will likely impact what we wind up seeing here. We'll track that out in a second. Look at the total moisture through Wednesday. So this is basically assuming that that precipitation is all in liquid water form, so rain. We're looking at around 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain, and spread out over a day or two, that's a pretty decent amount of rain. Now, if this were to fall all as snow, we're looking at several inches of snowfall, but keep in mind, those temperatures are so close to that freezing point. If we do receive a lot of that snowfall, likely it won't stick around for too long. You'll see what I mean here as this low tracks in. It'll hang out over southern Wisconsin for a bit, and that's when those questions really raise about if we're going to be seeing rain turning into snow. As of now, we're really expecting that snow to remain further north and west of us, but we could be looking at something. That's one to keep an eye on. We'll be tracking that very closely as we go through the next couple of days. Tonight, less wind, clear skies, chilly out there, and then that system coming in Monday. We'll see warmer temperatures making a run for the 50s again by next week.
First Alert Weather with meteorologist Emily Merz is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. For the most durable custom-crafted replacement windows, go now to RBAWBAY.com.
Emily Merz in the First Alert Weather Center. Now, Emily, we're taking a live look at Sturgeon Bay, and let me tell you, it looks nice out there, but it has been very, very windy. I was walking in the door today, and that thing shut immediately after. I had to run through it so I didn't get slammed in.
No, I'm always so embarrassed, like, you know, when you go to get out of your car in the parking lot and then your door like flies open. That's so embarrassing. Every single time I get so embarrassed, and then like you're just hoping that you don't like bump the car next to you. Oh my gosh.
Luckily, there's not too many cars in the lot at that time, though.
Yeah, right. When we're coming in at like 3 a.m. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of cars. That's why I never park next to other cars if I don't have to. So
smart thinking.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have any extra dents and dings that I don't need. But definitely breezy out there. I saw lots of trash cans knocked over yesterday driving around. But the good thing is going into today, still a little bit breezy, but not as much as what we saw yesterday. So today's just kind of that normal wind, not really that exceptionally inconvenient wind that we had yesterday. Our First Alert Viper Max showing a few areas that could see some flurries, more so further south of Fond du Lac, mostly out of our area, but keep in mind, a couple flurries here and there, especially this morning, definitely possible, but then we head into a dry weekend. Here are those wind speeds that we're talking about. Still very breezy, closer to the bay, or closer to the lake, I should say. We're going to be seeing those wind speeds in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range with some gusts a little higher. The rest of us sitting in the teens and 20s with those wind speeds, and also with these temperatures. 16 out there in Green Bay. Very chilly start to our morning. We'll likely see a similar morning tomorrow, but then plenty of sunshine as well. We'll talk more about what to expect this weekend coming up. Victoria. Welcome back. We've been tracking some interesting weather over the last couple of days, but now we go into a more quiet weekend. We'll see some sunshine, but also some colder temperatures. It will also be a bit breezy through the first half of the day today, like I was talking about just a little bit ago, but those temperatures starting to rebound by the next couple of days into this upcoming work week. We'll see temperatures return back to closer to where they were just the last couple of days, back into the 40s and 50s. Throughout today, we'll see plenty of sunshine, and even though these temperatures will be a little bit cold, that sunshine will help to improve those conditions. Wind chills are back in the positives now, and even as we go through tonight, we'll drop back into the teens with those air temperatures, but those wind chill values remain in the single digits, but at least they're the single digits on the positive ends of things and not below zero. Another sunny day through Sunday. We'll see slightly warmer temperatures making it into the 30s, and then another clear night Sunday night, and then that's when things get a little bit more active. We are tracking our next weather maker, which could bring us a combination of rain or snow or some kind of mix of both. We'll likely see this Monday night through Wednesday, maybe even carrying into Thursday. Could see some snow accumulation with this if we do see this snow fall. This is kind of a complicated system, very compact. So depending on the track that it takes, it could impact what type of precipitation we see here at the surface. We'll talk a little bit more about what to expect with all of that coming up. Victoria.
Dave, thanks for taking a live look at Green Bay, and it looks pretty nice out there. That sun is definitely out and shining today, Emily.
Yeah, it'll definitely help to kind of relieve the shock to the system of the colder temperatures. We had a pretty quick, steep drop off with those conditions, and yeah, it'll be a big change within a short amount of time, but plenty of sunshine to enjoy throughout this weekend. Here's our radar loop from the last 3 hours. We can see there is some snow up in the UP, still is some snowfall from that lake effect. That could potentially impact parts of Door County, but in general, we're not really expecting a whole lot of impact from that lingering lake effect snow. The rest of us seeing a couple of clouds still lingering, and that is actually also from that lake effect. We just don't necessarily have the moisture in place to see any snowfall from that. Our wind speeds are breezy in the teens and 20s. Will continue to be breezy throughout the first part of today, but by around lunchtime and later than that, that's when we'll likely start to see those winds calm back down. Our temperatures are sitting in the teens. We won't warm up a whole lot throughout the day today, but anything is an improvement. Look at this, about a 30-degree difference comparing yesterday to this time right now. Very, very dramatic difference with that system pushing out, and our first alert pinpoint predictor has those temperatures, like I mentioned, not really warming up a whole lot. We'll be in the mid to upper 20s throughout the majority of today, and then dropping back into the teens as we go overnight and into our Sunday morning. Then after that, we are tracking our next weather maker. Our next weather maker could bring some rain and or snow throughout next week. We could see some accumulating snowfall with this too. This is a system that, depending on where it tracks, we could see major differences in if it's going to be rain, if it's going to be snow, and of course how much of either of those things we might see. In general, we're looking at a decent amount of moisture that will be in place with this system. So this is essentially assuming that it would all fall as liquid water or as rain, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of that water overall. So pretty decent amount of rain, and if that were to fall as all snow, we'd be looking at several inches of that snowfall. Now, I'm not expecting this to be all snow, but that's kind of a good way to put it into perspective. We'll see this low track in throughout Tuesday and into Wednesday, and then it kind of hovers right over southern Wisconsin throughout most of our Wednesday. That's where the question kind of comes in as what type of precipitation are we going to be seeing with this? Likely going to see rain transition over to snow at some point, with more snow kind of centered further towards our north and west. But if this tracks just a little further south, we'll see a lot more snowfall. If it goes a little further north, we'll see a lot more rain. This is something that we'll be tracking pretty closely as we go through the next few days. And of course, we'll first alert you with the updates as they become a little bit clearer to us. Today, breezy out there through this morning, temperatures making it into the 20s. Tonight, clear and chilly, less wind, and our friends up north dropping back into the single digits. Our Super 7-day forecast showing breezy conditions today, sunshine Sunday, and then warmer temperatures heading into next week.
First Alert Weather with meteorologist Emily Merz is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. For the most durable custom-crafted replacement windows, go now to WBAY.com.
Thanks, Victoria. We're tracking some nicer conditions through this weekend. We'll see sunshine along with cooler temperatures. And then as we go into next week, warmer temperatures and also increasing chances of some active weather. We're tracking a system that could be bringing some rain and snow through Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures still above that freezing point, which kind of further brings that question of if we're going to see rain or snow or a mix of both. But before we get there, we have plenty of sunshine to enjoy this weekend. So let's just focus on that for now.
Definitely gotta take advantage of that. It is that time. It's time for our birthday club. Happy birthday to Jenna from Lena. She enjoys time with her friend, shopping, working, dad's cooking, and fudgesicles. Birthday wishes from the Madison and Marquardt families and Sandy.
Happy birthday to Kim. She enjoys Packer games, traveling, shopping, and special time with friends. Birthday wishes from many, many friends in Green Bay and Lena.
Happy 10th birthday to Eli. Look at him there. He loves to ski, wake surf, golf, and play football, baseball, and hockey. Okay, all-around athlete. Wishing you the best day ever with loads of love from your family and friends.
And Kaylin is turning 15. She likes volleyball, hanging out with friends, going to the beach, swimming, and watching movies. Happy birthday with love from Grandma, Grandpa, Uncle Jeff, and Aunt Mandy.
Happy birthday. And one more note before we say goodbye. Because of the on-air portion of the telethon, there will be no Action 2 News this morning at 8 a.m. tomorrow. If you had a birthday set to air tomorrow, it will be in our 6:30 a.m. show on Monday. Making sure we're always getting those special birthday clubs in and everybody able to enjoy it. Thanks for joining us on Action 2 News this weekend, morning edition. You know, it gets all blurred up at this time.
So many words.
So many words.
By the time you get to this point,
yeah,
our
it
brains.
just goes. Thanks for joining us on Action 2 News this morning, weekend edition. Have a great day.
Action 2 News.